It should be fully funded. These are our neediest children. And these are the children that eventually are going to be in 3rd grade and going to be testing. They're going to be in 5th grade and be testing. And I feel like these are the children that we've got to get away from great-grandma and grandma so that they can develop that love of learning. CMS's role is to make sure that we try to give services to all children who need that 4-year program. I'm applauding the governor for sticking her neck out there and saying, you know, this is going to be done. I was reading, you know, last night in the paper about the different stances on this, but I feel like our 4-year programs are vital to the kind of things that we need to be able to do to start seeing that slide in that gap between our students.
If you're on the board and, again, money is limited and you have to make a choice between funding Bright Beginnings and cutting somewhere else, what would you cut?
I would look at some of these instructional programs that we're using that aren't showing that they're moving student achievement.
For example?
One of them is one of the math programs we have on the elementary level. We have 2 math programs that are in conflict with each other. We have 2 reading programs, that are in conflict with each other. We need to evaluate which one is doing best for the children that it's serving and get rid of the other. Not have those 2 at odds with each other. So I'm not above cutting out those programs that just aren't fulfilling their purposes.
A program like an instructional program, my guess would be a tiny budget in comparison to the staff required to add, 50 pre-K classrooms or 10. I would there's a program sounds like a lot of money until you compare it to the staffing of a pre-K program. Where would you find the sort of the large staffing money?
Not only would you have to look at instructional programs, but you need to look at instructional support also. We have a lot of people that need to come back into the school buildings, especially those persons out in central offices that could best serve what's going on in those buildings. Now, we have some instructional programs that are very costly. I don't know if you know that, but our reading program and our math programs, because we're obligated for a certain number of years of buying materials each year, and those are disposable materials, they are costly. And some of those things we can look at and then break it down to bringing pre-K staff back in. And some of those persons who are out of the classrooms who are servicing the pre-K schools, we need to get them back into those schools. So it can be done if you just closely look at the programs and what's happening with them.